Champions League knockout stages, and hey, it's about the champions who are actually the European Champions League is here, and hey, whoever the cap fit, let them wear it, and hey, you could see a lot of teams are still remaining here, and hey, this week or this midweek Champions League is making the week very very exciting, and there are a lot of tough games out there, as you all know. Aston Villa will be traveling to Belgium to face Club Brugge. It's a game to watch as well. Dortmund will be hosting Lille, and also PSV, who people are a team that people are not seeing that much. They are the only team to beat Liverpool in the Champions League for sure. Now they will be hosting Arsenal tomorrow, and the class of class, the Madrid derby, a derby of derby. Real Madrid versus Atletico Madrid will be clashing in Bernabeu tomorrow. It's a tough game for tomorrow's game, and hey, we will be giving you much details. Don't forget tomorrow on Wednesday there are still games as well to go on and make it a master architect, as Feyenoord will be hosting Inter Milan for sure, and Munich will also be hosting their rivals as well, Bayer Leverkusen, and Benfica will also be hosting Barcelona. We all know what happened in the last game for sure. And hey, believe it or not, it's a cracker of a games on Wednesday and Tuesdays as well. And PSG will also be hosting Liverpool in France as well. So this is what is going to happen. Paris will be booming as well. Liverpool, who only lost one game in the Champions League, will be going to Paris to face PSG, and PSG form is coming back. And if you just join us, remember to hit the subscription button, like and share the video, and hey, your opinions are highly, highly, highly welcome. This is Champions League and Champions of Champions. Aside from the Champions League, we will be giving you the news, updates, transfers that are actually happening in the world of football. So everything about it is just pure business. And hey, later on I'll be joining with my co-host as well, or my guest as well. So as we are going on, everything is gonna be working perfectly for sure. And hey, if you just join me, do remember to bring in your opinions, because your opinions are highly, highly welcome. And hey, we'll be starting with the Champions League for sure. And hey, Wednesday, as Tuesday, as we all know, the Champions League is starting, and hey, we will be starting with Club Brugge, Aston Villa. Yes, Club Brugge with Aston Villa. We all know how Aston Villa qualify, automatic qualification into the Champions League, and Club Brugge are the one who played qualification into to qualify to the next stage of the or to reach this competition for sure. And now the likes of Watkins are available. Asensio is very very instrumental in this Unai Emery Aston Villa setup, because he has been absolutely incredible in playing the number 10 role for sure. And talking about Asensio, you can also talk about Tillemans, who is one of a unique player who is just amazing, amazing guy. The defensive and his offensive work with Unai Emery, the way he dictates games for Aston Villa has been such a massive one for sure. And we all know anything is gonna happen. And for sure, Club Brugge and Aston Villa. I don't know who is just going to make it happen, but then anything can happen in the Champions League. And for sure, there is no other thing than to watch out for Aston Villa in this game, because Aston Villa surprised a lot of teams. They have surprised a lot of teams in this Champions League. Automatic qualification was number one thing that people didn't expect from Aston Villa. But Unai Emery, with his tactics and with the kind of players he has in his possession, and also during the transfer window, he has been able to update and get more players into his possession. So watch out for Aston Villa in this round. And I think they might be qualifying to the next stage of the competition for sure. Let me know what you really think about this game. But Club Brugge, on the other hand, you can't just take them off of this game. Remember, this is a club that faced Atalanta And Atalanta is such a good club, even though there was an injury situations prior to this game. But hey, Club Brugge winning against Atlanta in Italy, also getting at Belgium to win at home against Atlanta speaks it all. So it's not gonna be an easy game for sure. And you all know the likes of is it Jude Gla, and also Van Aken. They are all these players you need to watch out for. And Talbi in the wings too is actually doing quite perfectly for Club Brugge. And hey, whoever the cap fits, let them wear it and let them wear. And this game is all about champions and champions. Let's see what is going to happen in this situation. Let's see how Aston Villa will be able to manage these guys as well. So, and believe it or not, let's look at so this game for me. I think Aston Villa has much upper hand going into this game, and there are certain things you need to also watch out for these two clubs. They are very different kind of unique of a game, and we all know prior to this prior to this, we all know that their head to head is actually something that we need to actually talk about because they only play one match for sure, and that match, I think it was Club Brugge who won it in Belgium. So that was November 6th, 2026. So is it going to be a repetition of this win for Club Brugge or what? So let's know what is going to happen. As I say, Jutla is actually comparing with Rogers, and Rogers is also one of a fantastic player, the scorers of Aston Villa and also Club Brugge. Rogers have actually scored 2 goals so far in the Champions League, assist one, and also matches played, 10 matches played. This is how it looks. And then Rogers, who is also very fantastic for Aston Villa, scored 3 goals in the Champions League with 1 assist as well and 8 games played. So comparing these two, you could see that Rogers have upper hand in going into this game than Jutgla. And let's see how this is going to play out for sure. So I know things are really going to be booming for sure. And whoever the cap fit, let them wear it. Anyone could be winning this game. Anyone could just go in and make it another master architect here. But whatever be the case, I think Aston Villa still have the upper hand in going into because they have enhanced their squad in the transfer window, as I said already. So let's see how this is gonna be. But Dortmund versus Lille. Wow. Dortmund Lille. Yeah. The Kovacic, who is Dortmund coach, sees steady improvement at Dortmund ahead of Lille games because last games that Dortmund actually get into, it wasn't so that perfect for them, and we all know how this is gonna be. And looking at this game is just massive. When you look at Lille, they have a fantastic striker, which is David. David is actually doing quite very well for Lille. But then Dortmund picking up like get just a progressive improvement. I didn't actually tip them to win to qualify to this stage of the competition because of what has actually happened. But they were lucky to face a team like Sporting CP for sure, and they were able to draw Sporting CP at home. And meanwhile, they go ahead to win against Sporting CP away from home, 3 goals to nil, and at home, Sporting CP wasn't able to come back into the game, and Dortmund qualified to the next stage of the competition. But when it comes to Lille, Lille actually, we all know how they are actually faring. Going into that game, we all know that Lille have a lot of things to offer for sure. But then in this game, Dortmund still have that experience. They still have that exposure in Champions League than Lille. So in this game, Dortmund still have the upper hand. They still have that ability to go in and then make it a brilliant architect for themselves. And comparing their strikers, as I said, David has been doing fantastic work for Lille. But then Gurasi, Guirassi or Gurasi is actually doing also wonderful job at Dortmund. And for sure, in Champions League, Gracie already have 10 goals for sure, with 10 goals and also 3 assists, 10 matches play. That is how it is. So it means that his average of every goal is 1 goal per game. Averagely, he has been scoring 1 goal per game, because out of 10 games he scored 10 goals and also 3 assists in the Champions League so far. With David and Lille, you could understand, yeah, the exposure is not actually there like that, and also sometimes it also depends a lot of factors. And David have actually scored 6 goals and also 1 assist with 8 games play, so he's also doing quite better. But don't forget about Mukau of Lily, and also Baker. These guys are and Heraldison. They are actually doing quite perfectly for Lille, but then I don't think they have the power. They have the power to actually win this game against Dortmund in German. It's going to be absolutely very, very, very difficult for these guys, and I know how things are really working for these two. That is the football for you. That is football game for you, and for sure, Nana Kwame will be joining quite very soon. Let me know what you actually think, because this is absolutely incredible, massive one for sure. And hey, it's a great, great, great one. So Dortmund, I think they have upper hand of going into this game. Nana Kwame, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. So how has it been? Today it's been a busy, busy, tough, tough day. So it's been difficult getting us together. So, but then I just started. Then because you give me the go ahead to start, probably maybe you might join me later. So I just finished with Liverpool. I said Liverpool, the Club Brugge Aston Villa game, which is
Mhm.
very normal, because I actually tipping Aston Villa to go in and make it happen. I was just at the Dortmund on. I don't know what you make up of these two fixtures.
Yeah, Dortmund against
Dortmund against Lille.
yeah. Um I think the French league, teams from the French side, this season has surprised us quite a bit, and but when it gets to the tougher stages, I think that is where experience comes in the most. So picking both teams, I think the Dortmund side on paper is better than Lille, and also the experience wise, they also have a better standing or a better chance. So I see Dortmund, going through after both leagues, and
Yeah.
I don't think it will be much of a trouble for Dortmund
Yeah, that's what I was actually saying. But looking at Dortmund striker, which is Gurasi, actually had 10 goals in 10 matches and also 3 assists. But you look at David of Lille, he also has 6 goals of 2 assists in 8 games. So it's kind of, when you are comparing that kind of player to player, I think Dortmund still have that opportunity to go ahead to the next stage of the competition. But one thing I'm worried about, Dortmund is not consistent in their performance.
that
They
is
are not
true.
consistent. That's what I'm worried about. They could perform well at their home, go away and mess it up, or they could actually drop at home and go away and win. So but Champions League is sometimes very, very difficult to predict. And that's such a wonderful time Lily is going to enjoy in Dortmund. But let's see how it's gonna happen. Uh, I could say a lot. I could say whatever is going to happen, but then the most important thing is whoever had the power to go in probably might actually go in. Simon, PSV, PSV Eindhoven versus Arsenal. This is a club people don't actually look into too much, because remember, this club PSV was the only club who won against Liverpool in this season Champions League. Other than that, Liverpool could have kept it 100% in qualification, but the last games PSV pulled a magic against Liverpool, and for them to actually go through the qualification system to be here, And now they are facing another English side, which is Arsenal. And Arsenal inconsistency too is not something to be actually speak of. And they are desperate to get a trophy this season because it's been quite a long time since they had a trophy in Emirates Sports Stadium. What do you think about these two games?
Um, yeah. So PSV against Arsenal. Um, let's remind ourselves that, or let's be reminded that, at the time of that match against Liverpool, Liverpool had no reason to win that match.
Mhm,
And
mhm.
if you look at the lineup they brought up in that match, final game of the group stages, let's put it. Um, they didn't bring much as well. They didn't bring their starting players, most of their starting players. I remember even Robertson was playing defense as a center back in that game. So it should tell you that game we can't depend on that game and say that PSV, is a contender. Though, yes, Champions League is full of surprises, but as to the strength of both teams, I think PSG winning against Liverpool has nothing to do with the match against Arsenal. And Arsenal, on the other hand, I would say they are not favorites, one of the favorites, but they are a team to look out for in this Champions League. And comparing the both players, or sorry, both teams and their players on paper, Arsenal is supposed to pull through. And I think that's what actually is going to happen at the end of the day. Though PSG can be tough sometimes, but I think at the end of the day, experience will work in favor of Arsenal.
Yeah, yeah. At the end of the day, experience will work in a favor of Arsenal. But then looking at PSV, how they have actually get here, they were supposed to play the playoff against Juventus, and they were able to win that playoff against Juventus at first leg at home, 3 goals to 1. And going to Italy to face Juve, they were able to lose that game by 2 goals to 1. They actually qualify with goal advantage into the next stage of the competition. And for sure, if you have the likes of Perisic, the likes of Dijon, and also Lang in your forward line, probably you will always cause that mess because these guys have a lot of experience in Champions League for sure. But then their attack, I like the way they play. They play so exciting football. They play so magical football, and they make the game very very entertaining. And for sure, Arsenal on the other hand, yes, they have a lot of experience in the Champions League. On paper, they are actually good going into this competition. Well, I vow for Arsenal, but what I'm afraid of, at the end of the day, you don't know what to get from Arsenal. Because if Arsenal could actually lose a game against West Ham in Emirates Sports Stadium, then anything can happen against PSG and PSV. Sorry, but then when you look at player to players, even though Arsenal have a lacking striker, they are lacking striker currently because both of their two strikers are injured, and right now it looks like we need to be looking for Trossard and also Merino and that Nwaneri at the forward line for Arsenal because Wan-Bissaka is out, Martinelli is out, and also what was the name as well? Jesus is out, and also Kai Havertz is out in the front line of Arsenal. And possible lineup that you could midfielder that they could be using is Jorginho alongside with Rice and also Odegaard. Even though Partey is kind of, I don't know whether he'll be able to feature Partey because when they are going for their selection, they need to also be mindful of the next Premier League team they will be facing. That is how it's been for Arsenal. So this is why I don't think, I don't know. Even though they can pull a magic in Netherlands, but PSV at home, they are very dangerous. Nana.
Yeah, that's true. PSV at home is can be threatening, but um, I think Arsenal has the quality, has the quality to go against a side like PSV. And PSV this season, they've been good, but league wise, they've not been, to the standard we know them of in the past seasons. It's a surprise to me that, they look to start the season strong, but to the middle, from middle to the end of the season, now Ajax is on top, I think about 7 or 8 points or so.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
how that happened, I don't know. So you could tell that PSV has lost, the form they had, or the form with which they started the season, and that has shown across, also in the Champions League, in their games, throughout the group stages. So I
Yeah,
think Arsenal, regardless, still has the quality to get the job done.
yeah. Arsenal, regardless, still have the job. So still have the job to done, and they have a striker like Tillman, who is also very good. And compare him with Saka. Saka, my possibility of Saka playing this game is not so high. But then Saka has 4 goals in the Champions League as well, with 2 assists and 5 games play. Meanwhile, their striker Tillman had 3 goals with 2 assists with 6 games play. So this is how it looking. But Arsenal is looking forward to get to the next stage of the competition for sure. So let's hope something might change here. If not, hey, the Gunners, I don't know what to say about them, but I always hope that with this Champions League, they can do anything to hurt their opponent. Simon, you just come in at the right time. It looks like the Madrid derby tomorrow. Madrid derby, Real Madrid facing their side neighbor. You know, the closed door one. You know, the one you don't actually want to be speaking about, because this season you've actually drawn once already, or is it you won one and you draw one, yeah, or you draw both, or you haven't played the second leg yet. I know, yeah,
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 we haven't played the second leg
yeah,
yet.
yeah.
Yeah.
So you draw once this season, and Real Madrid versus Atletico Madrid. I know Real Madrid is very dear to your heart, but with this Madrid inconsistency, going to face Atletico Madrid. We saw what they did against Barcelona in Barcelona home, coming going ahead, and then Barcelona came back with 2 goals leading, and then they came to equalize all of them, and the game ended 4-4. They're such a team that they don't just give up easily. They can go to any length to defend, and they can go to any length to open just to get the goal and protect it. This Madrid derby, what's your take on that? This, like, I don't know, the excitement is already too much.
Yeah, it's exciting. And as a Madrid fan, speaking from a Madrid fan point of view, I think I said one in one of our videos that out of Atletico Madrid and Bayern Leverkusen, I'll prefer meeting Atletico Madrid. And my reason was because, with Atletico Madrid, we are used to them and we know what to expect from them. They also know what to expect from us. We are familiar. So, and anytime we come against each other, it doesn't matter the form, whether the other is having a bad season or the worst of the season, that match turns out to be what different, teams. I would say teams come out to play, or players come out to play their best in this particular fixture, the Madrid derby. So, um, rather than meeting Bayern Leverkusen, who I don't think we've ever come up against them, and they seem to be on form. They've in the Bundesliga, they are on a 29 game streak, no losing streak. So, and it's very dicey to going up against them, because you don't know what to expect from them. Though we can watch their game from afar and study what they are, but not being familiar with them can be a downside to us, because we are not, on the other hand, we are not consistent. I think when it comes to consistency, I would say Bayern Leverkusen has been consistent this season than Real Madrid. Real Madrid, we are looking more like a Dortmund team. Today we are showing up, the next time we are. So I would always prefer the derby rather than coming up against Bayern Leverkusen. And
And you
Talking
got
about
your
the
derby.
derby, yeah, the derby is is going to be feisty, you know. So we should expect yellow cards, you know, quarrels between players here and then. But I trust my team to, you know, to pull through in this fixture.
So you trust Real Madrid will pull through in this fixture.
Yeah, I do. And you know, though we will be lacking Jude Bellingham, who is a very, very key player, important player for our team. Um, I think we can hold them up, or we can
But but
handle
but
them.
but the likes
Yeah,
of Valverde is back
yeah.
to the team.
Likes of Valverde is back. The likes of Kamavinga is back.
Is back.
Tuchimeni is going to be playing in his natural position. So that is the positive side for us. Defensively, I think we can handle them with the likes of these players. Yeah. I think Jude Bellingham, what I keep saying about Jude Bellingham, which makes me feel that it's a downside for Madrid is because this guy is hardworking, you know, both every part of the pitch, both attacking, defense, he keeps moving. He's the only player apart from probably Valverde. Yeah, I would say they are the only two players, Valverde and sorry, I have to add Rodrigo. Valverde, Rodrigo, Jude Bellingham. These are three players who really, you know, run up the pitch. In attack, they are there. In defense, they are there. So, and this helps our games very well. It plays big, important, like a very big role in our matches. So lacking someone like Jude Bellingham is going to be a problem. But hopefully we can contain them with the likes of Kamavinga and Tuchimeni. Yeah.
Hopefully, you can contain them with Kamavinga and Turkmen. Remember, Jude position. You still have Diaz, Ibrahim Diaz, yeah, over there to actually because he's also so good and such
Yeah,
a one.
he's good. Jude Diaz is good on the attack, you know,
Yeah,
Raheem
and
Diaz. But
y-
the defensive side is where I'm also concerned, you know. Jude is perfect for the attack. He can do what Bellingham does on the attack and even more. But you know, when it comes to adding to the defense, that will be a problem. His height, and you know, this Atletico side, I think they've stopped doing that. But when they used to, they are still doing that now in the likes of Alan Slot. You know,
mhm,
having Slot, they like to throw
mhm, mhm, mhm.
long balls, and most of the time they beat us with these long balls. So that is one thing we should look out for.
Yeah, because when you look at Atletico Madrid, yeah, Simeone tactics is just that. First of all, you need to defend before you open. And so, and when you are playing at Simeone formation, you need to actually be able to have that mental capacity to hold to your half yard. Just hold on there to let your opponent have the play, and the moment you break a quick transitional break, and that actually give them that momentum to hit teams. I was actually surprised, like when they allowed Barcelona to come back into the game because Barcelona is the team that play high line, and playing high line with Atletico Madrid, you are being risky, very very risky because when they transition in their counter attacking side, it's very very difficult for opponent to get back or to be able to stop them from scoring. And for sure, I think whatever be the case, Madrid need to be very very mindful of their defensive side because the likes of Alvarez, who is also scoring every game, and then Anton Griezmann is still there out there to actually make it a perfect way for Simeone is something that you actually need to be mindful. And these days, it's like they have enhanced their team in such a way that, or even midfield, while they are always like sometimes very perfect because if you have Conor Gallagher, who is very clinical good and very, very offensively and defensively minded. So I think this game is going to be a master architect. But my problem is with Real Madrid in Camp Nou, in Bernabeu. In Bernabeu, it's very, very difficult for a team to go there and then win it when it's even Champions League knockout stages, maybe first leg and second leg like this. That is where Real Madrid is always. The mentality of Champions League is totally different from league. They could mess up every opportunity in the league, but when it comes to Champions League, it's total different ball game together. But as we said, it's a Madrid derby. It can be anyone's game. But isolated with his tactics, I think I need to be very comfortable that to say that Madrid will pull through. But since it's a derby, it's very difficult to actually come out with the idea. Mbappe, Kylian Mbappe actually the three goals he scored last time, the hat trick he scored the last time out in the Champions League, putting Madrid into this stage of the competition. Do you think he can show up again against Atletico?
Uh, yeah, I think you know I used to at the beginning of Mbappe's presence in Madrid, I began to criticize him. I was a little bit more critical on his play, in his ball movement, and so on and so forth. But I think he's working on things. He's getting there. He's he has a lot to learn. Coming into a different league, you have to see how or adapt to how the league goes. So I think I should have been fair to him in that sense that he has to be given time to adapt to the system here. Because French league, French football is totally different to the Spanish one. Yeah, and I think it will be difficult to stop Mbappe in this game, though they'll try to use him as a target. But if you focus so much on Mbappe, Vinicius is going to hurt you. Rodrigo can also hurt you. So that is the fun part of having these three, if not four, because Jude Bellingham is not playing in that game. But having these four players in a team, any of them can hurt you. So it's difficult to draw your attention and come into the game that, oh, let's stop this guy and allow the other guys to beat us. Because what Vinicius can do, Mbappe can equally do. Rodrigo can equally do that. Jubenham can equally do that. So it's going to be a problem for Atletico on the defensive side. And
Yes.
yeah, they coming up against Barcelona. I expected Barcelona to win at the end of the day, but the high line problem still paid off against or went bad for them. So it's going to be a match to watch. And as a Madrid fan, I'll be biased and say Madrid is going to pull through at the end of the day.
Madrid is going to pull through at the end of the day. And hey, let's see how this is going to be. Madrid derby on your way in Champions League tomorrow. And Wednesday, Feyenoord will be hosting Inter Milan. Feyenoord major two players had record and they won't be featuring in this game. But then Inter Milan made a huge mistake during the qualification to this round or the post qualification to this one. Do you think they could make the same mistake against Feyenoord?
Um, this season, the teams from Netherlands have also proven to us that they deserve, they deserve their places in the Champions League, and we should never look over them or look down upon them. Uh, Feyenoord came up against AC Milan, and they were a tough team for AC Milan to beat. Though I think AC Milan had chances which they could get back into the game and get a way to qualify, but it was just unfortunate for them. But this time coming up against a better side, which is Inter Milan, I think it's they are going to give Inter Milan a tough time. But at the end of the day, Inter Milan has the experience, has the squad, has the quality to get the results against Feyenoord and qualify. Though Feyenoord they are torn in the flesh.
Yeah, they are torn in the flesh, really, because looking at, I didn't expect to actually see them in this stage of the competition by now, but because of the resilience, because of teamwork, because for them, such teams, they don't play as individual brilliance, they play as a team. And
Yes,
anyone who make mistake, all of them make that mistake. And so it gives them that confidence, it gives them that momentum to always go into games with just showing their abilities and showing glimpses of what they can do if they get that opportunity. And the opportunity is now right here with them. If they play that such beautiful game like they played during the qualification, I think Inter is going to find it very difficult. But the good thing is that Italian teams, they don't joke with their defense. That's one thing you need to know. They don't joke with their defense, and whatever be the case, they need to defend first before actually opening up. But if you have a team like Feyenoord who like running behind defenders, they are forwarded like running behind defenders, and such kind of players, defenders are very, very, very afraid, and this kind of afraid could actually lead to something else. So let's see how this is gonna work out. But I think it's a tough game as well. But Inter, I think they can pull through. They can actually pull
yeah,
through
yeah. I
because
think
they are playing
talking about
away.
the defense.
Yeah, they are playing away, and then they will play home next. So that gives them that opportunity in to make everything right. If they are able to draw or get a goal in Feyenoord home, probably in Italy, it will be different ball game together for them. Well, talking about Inter Milan, Feyenoord, Inter Milan, we also have Bayern Munich, Leverkusen. Bayern Leverkusen and Bayern Munich, another all of them, another derby, yeah. So
Yeah,
the
this is
Bavarians actually, we know what is really transpired in the league table. The two of them are fighting for the league, even though there's a couple of points between them. But then you can still not ride by Leverkusen out just like that. But then they are facing in the Champions League currently, and it's about the champions. And so far, I think with Vincent Company, he has a wonderful record since joining Bayern. Since joining Bayern, I think he has almost has a 70 something percent record of winning games. I think he only lost 5 games with Bayern's draw only 5. So you can understand. So this is something that is very, very going to be is going to be very, very difficult for both clubs, because looking at Xavi or Xabi too in that category of a coach won that trophy last season, and this season is not all that perfect for them. It's normal to actually experience that, but then you can still not write them out. And meeting Bayern, they will always want to prove a point that they are worthy of being in the league and in the Champions League as equally as Bayern. This game, what do you make up of this game between these two sides? Because they are both German team, they are both in Bayern, and both of them are actually facing in Champions League on Wednesday.
yeah. In terms of picking a side, this is a tough matchup. This is really tough to because this season I think uh both teams have come up against each other. I think twice already.
Mhm.
Yeah, if I should remember, twice already. One was in a cup final, and Bayern Leverkusen ended up winning that cup final or going through. And I think one was also in the. I think no, thrice already, if I should recall. And
Yeah, and before is just generally the current head-to-head record for teams are Bayern Leverkusen 17 wins, Bayern Munich 17 wins, Bayern Leverkusen 8 wins, and they have drawn 9. They
yeah,
have
but I'm
drawn
talking of
9.
this season.
Uh-huh. So for
This season,
this season I think they've met once.
no, I think twice or thrice
Mhm.
already. Let me quickly confirm. Yeah, so this season they met in the yeah, they've met thrice. They met
So, wow.
for the first leg of they've met in both legs of their Bundesliga,
Oh, okay,
and
okay.
all came up as a draw. And they also met in the Pokal
Poker Cup.
quarter final,
Mhm.
and Bayern Leverkusen qualified to the next day to the semi-final by beating Bayern. So statistic wise, based on matches,
This
the
this
matchup for this season, Leverkusen has the upper hand. Yeah, and I've watched all these three games, and it always looks like Leverkusen, there are chances, but it's unfortunate that Bayern is not able to make good use of their chances in these games. That is how come they come short against Leverkusen. Other than the last matchup, which was a 0-0 draw, where the game was played in Bayern Leverkusen's home. That matchup, Bayern Leverkusen totally dominated Bayern. Bayern came up with, I think, at most two shots or so, and probably one on target. They couldn't produce shots. The game was totally dominated by Leverkusen. So coming off from that, I think uh, it's tough to tell. Bayern
stuff.
too on a good night can prove wonders. So I don't really know, but I lean more towards Bayern Leverkusen. I don't know why, but I think I lean more towards Bayern Leverkusen.
Yeah, Bayern Leverkusen. Maybe tactically, they are inclined to be like they are inclined to be playing as a teamwork, and is paying off for them. Because I think with Bayern there are some specific players. If they are not there, Bayern cannot function properly. That's
True.
one thing about this kind of games for sure. But I don't know. But I still think Bayern with this Champions League, because every big club will not like to lose to their opponent maybe twice in the season.
Yeah,
So and
true.
they've met three times. Two is draw, and then Leverkusen won the third game. So let's see how this could work out in this, because this Champions League, there's no draw in Champions League. Even afterwards, at least one team have to qualify to the next stage of the competition. That makes it very, 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 very serious and very, very difficult competition in the whole world. So let's see how this is going to happen. But then moving on to the next Champions League game, which is Benfica Barcelona.
Hmm.
Well, Benfica, this is not a new face to us.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not a new face to us. We saw when they met in the
Group stage.
preliminary stage of the competition, and the way Benfica actually come in, scoring two goals early, Barcelona late coming into the game to win it by 3-2 was absolutely. I think if I will have to choose games that was actually fantastic to do. I think it will be one of the matches that I will actually choose, because that game was absolutely match up. And you earlier on you talked about the long balls of Atletico Madrid and that of Liverpool, and this Benfica side also had that in them. And you look at how they play against Barcelona. Barcelona Highlands. They are the only team that were able to beat Barcelona out of the high line, and it was so amazing. Within some few minutes, they were leading by 2 goals to
True.
nil.
Yeah.
And coming up with this game, do you think probably they have a chance?
Uh, hmm. The thing about Barcelona is they they play the high line, but the attack is clinical. Because they are clinical on the attack, they when they have possession, chances that they are going to score you is higher. The probability that they might create a goal is higher. So the issue is when they are playing high line, you have the chance and you don't convert those chances. They will be doing the scoring and you would not. So that is where the difference comes. But if you're able to capitalize on their high line and break their high line offside trap, then you can at least balance the game if they are also scoring on the other end. So that is basically what's played up in that match. Benfica came up, beat the highlight defense and scored, but because Barcelona was also good on the attack or clinical on the attack, they also find their ways to score. So I think Barcelona is still sticking to their high line, regardless of whatever. That is their main tactical play this season, and they are not changing it. That is the tactics of the coach. So it is up to Benfica to correct the mistakes they did from allowing conceding from Barcelona. Sorry, conceding against Barcelona, and create goals on the try to break the attacking line because the defensive line the way they did and avoid goals. If they do that, then they can come through. But it's unfortunate. It will be difficult to stop the likes of Rafinha, Yamal, Lewandowski,
Lewandowski,
Dani Olmo,
Danilo.
Pedri. These are quality players. When they
Yeah,
come on your attack, your defense is they demolish you.
yeah, they demolish you in the defensive phase, man. But then Danny Olmo is very, very clinically very good.
Top
You
notch.
look at
Yeah,
wow, super, super. But when you talk of Danny Olmo, you talk about Lamine Yamal. The way he's so good on the ball. If he's dribbling, it's like he's playing, but very, very clinical. And then when he's holding the ball, it's always a threat to the opponent. And that's why lately, for the past few games, he has not been scoring because they try to put him out of the game, but he always find a way, even if he doesn't assist or score. But the creativity, you can't stop him.
exactly. The
Because I look at the
creativity
last game
at that
that
age is
wow,
crazy.
wow,
It's
that's
crazy.
amazing.
I imagine what this guy is. He's still developing. Let's not forget, he's still young. He's still learning more. And the more he plays, the more he's going to build his game. So imagine when he has better experience. Oh my God, Yamal he's a future Ballon d'Or. For me, that is what I see.
Yeah,
He's going
he
to be a
could be a
future Ballon
future
d'Or player.
Ballon d'Or, but then hey, we talked about that for Fati, Ansu Fati. We talked about that for so many players, but at the end of the day, we were not able to see them. But then let's see how it's gonna happen because hey, the boy is so good, so talented, and when he's holding ball, it's difficult for opponent to actually get it out for them. And well, let's see, Benfica, Barcelona. I think Barcelona have the upper hand, or they can sort this because since it's going to be Portugal first and then Barcelona second, I think they have the upper hand of going into that game for sure. And the last game of the Champions League, huh?
PSG Liverpool.
PSG versus Liverpool.
This is clash of the titans.
Clash of the Titans because Enrique, the good works Enrique is doing is actually very, very, very interesting for sure. But then you see PSG on a daily basis improving. They are no longer, they are just trying to get away with the old PSG we knew from they are just going to get away from the old PSG that we knew. This new PSG under Enrique, they look young, they look determined, they look serious. Their creativity is very good. They have like teamwork, and above it all, the way they possess balls, you understand that something is actually working for PSG. But to face Liverpool, lost only one game in the Premier League, lost only one game in the Champions League so far this season. This is absolutely murder. What do you make up of that game?
It's the match to watch, out of all the matches. We've talked about the Madrid derby, we've talked about the German derby. But to be honest with you, amongst all the matches we have in this quarterfinal, sorry, round of 16 stage, this is the match to watch. Because
This
PSG now they are flying. They are flying high. Liverpool, on the other hand, is also unstoppable. So two teams who are on form based on, and when we say on form based on their performance in their domestic leagues, yeah, and coming up together, that is a match to watch. And um, have been on form in both their domestic leagues. The question now comes that, comparing the Premier League to the French league, I think the Premier League has a upper hand
Yeah,
on the
definitely.
French league. So the Premier League is more competitive, far more competitive than the French league. So if you are to judge both teams on the performance in the league, then I think clearly Liverpool is going to pull through because of the experience they gather, or how strong they are coming out on top in the Premier League as compared to PSG coming out on top on the French league. So based on the competitiveness of each league, I would like to pick Liverpool over PSG. Though it is still going to be a tough match, but at the end of the day, I think Liverpool will pull through.
At the end of the day, Liverpool will go through. Definitely. Let's see how this is, because for them getting that qualification, topping the group, you don't expect them to actually just give it away like that. And for sure, we see that Liverpool will be making their way to the next stage of the competition. But PSG, you cannot count them out, because the kind of expenditure they are having under their belt currently is so huge. And for sure, let's see how things will be nailing out for these guys. And I think that's the end of the Champions League fixtures for sure. So there are a couple of news that probably we could just go in with, but then it's still something that Vinicius Junior wants to extend Real Madrid contract beyond 2027. What do you think?
He wants to extend it to
Beyond
2027.
2027, beyond more than 2027. So let's
Okay,
see.
beyond.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Yeah, I think Vinicius would do himself harm if, with the level he's achieved in Real Madrid, we just want to end that relationship, or all these achievements, and just vanish. I think that would be a wrong decision, or a bad decision to make. So I think, yeah, it's all positive vibes for Vinicius Junior. I think it is a good decision if you would like to extend his contract in Madrid, because he's up for the legendary status in Madrid if he keeps up at this pace without injuries and all, unwanted lifestyles that are against, the physicality and strength, or the capability of a player. If he takes good care of himself, I think he can achieve greater things in Madrid, and to the level of the Ronaldo status, Cristiano Ronaldo status, and Rahul. I mean the past legends of Real Madrid. He can add his name to this group.
Yeah, to end up to this group. But Simeone sends chances for Atletico to make history in Champions League. But I don't know how he's gonna make it, but then it's very, very difficult. Meanwhile, Manchester United sweating over fresh centre back injury ahead of crucial Europa League games. United has been poor for sure. They have been actually very, very poor. But for them to actually lose another defender ahead of the Europa League, I think it's a blow to them, because they have hesited the FA Cup this weekend against Fulham on penalties, and now another injury blow on their list again. What do you make
Yeah,
up?
it's man,
I see, man,
I'm lack of words. I'm short of words whenever I'm talking about mine, because I don't know what I can say. I don't know what I should say, because we've all said what we have to say. I think at the end of the day, we just hope they go through this season, not fall. I don't see them likely falling into relegation zone. I think they should just keep up their level in the season, their position. I'll even wish for them not to qualify. As I said, I'll not wish for them to even qualify for any. external league competition, meaning the Champions League, the Europa League, the Conference League, none. So that next year trade markets or trade days comes, they get the set of players that fit the playing style of this coach, and start all over, and focus next year's season on themselves as a team, focus more on their domestic league and the other domestic cups, and that will help them to rebuild, and get back into position. But if next year comes with other European cups and all those things, it's going to be a problem, extra load for them. So I think next season they should use that as a season to to refresh things.
Next season they should use that to refresh things, and for sure this is what we've been talking about. Because for me, it looks like United are not just ready for anything. First of all, hesitating to get Amorim at that time was a bad idea. Amorim actually accepting at that time was a bad idea for him as well. Now he is under pressure, and for sure, after the game in the FA Cup against Fulham, he was talking about their ambition to win the Premier League title again, and that's what he's actually thinking of. But the likes of Rooney, when Rooney came out and said Amorim should stop dreaming, because I think what he's, or according to his statement, is like Amorim is setting outrageous things, because look at the state of the team currently. You need to look at how you can solve the immediate problem. And now already talking about winning the league title. How possible is it? He's just saying that to change the fans' mind so that they will not probably get into him. But then it's already into deep than that, than playing mind games as well. So for me, I think United is not ready, and they are not ready to do anything better, because for the couple of transfer window, this year transfer could have been the time like they go in get one or two, so that it will change the dynamics of the team. Because right now, Noah Amorim is a coach who like to play a defensive and a quick transition, and the players are not getting his tactics. So I don't know how long is it gonna take them to actually play or be able to get his tactics right. And
Yeah,
United to mhm,
they
United
get his
to
tactics, but
exactly.
to execute it is the problem.
But that's why that simple means that they don't get it, because if you get it and you can't execute it, it means that you don't understand it at all. And so for
Yeah,
sure,
no, you can understand it, and you can understand it what the coach demands from you, but to execute it, meaning like you don't have the physical abilities to do it. Just as you are saying, the quick transition you are saying, quick transition needs what? Runners. It needs players who are fast, and also quick thinking. If you look at Manchester United attack with the likes of Bruno Fernandes, can you imagine with Bruno Fernandes in a quick time transition team? How fast can he run? He can't.
they have Ghana too.
Garnacho is fast, but he can't control the ball with speed.
They have Ahmad.
So it slows. The only player is Ahmad. Ahmad is the only player that is able to execute that quick transition, that
So
kind
it
of
means
play.
that all the players United are having, they are not getting it, because they if they are get probably, okay, let me put this across. If they were getting it and they wanted to fight, probably, okay, if we can get it, let's do this to actually stop ourselves from defeat. That way, you could have seen they are drawing a lot of games, and that could have helped them a little bit than just losing this kind of games for sure. And because most of them, maybe some of them, Crampo, aside from being the running and running, how do you expect Casemiro to actually take in charge of? Casemiro have never played such kind of formation, and then they were going to buy those things. They buy it and they buy them under Eric Ten Hag, thinking that, oh, get going for Eric Ten Hag former players and all that could have helped them enhance it, not knowing it was total a mess. And the only player who could do that is no longer there, because I think Anthony is also someone who is very quick. And then but then he too is like it's not working for him. I think United's situation is more than just coaching. It's more than just coaching. How many coaches are they going to sack before things will be all right for them? So for me, I just think everything is about the board, because now they've sold the shares, sold every part of the shares out of all, sold everything out on their, now the Glazers are not the people holding the club, and still problems are still said. They will need to cut down costs. Alex Ferguson and co, they are no longer like instrumental part of the club, but yet nothing is changing. So more or less, what do they need right now? I was just hoping he could actually hold it till the end of the season, and probably they could work very hard in the let's say the preseason. But then you look at the space at which they are losing games. I won't be surprised if United threaten relegation. I will not be
No, no. For
surprised.
relegation, they are not going to. Looking at the
Well, it
points,
happens to Chelsea before. You remember
but the
last two
point gap,
seasons.
the point gap is too big. For them to likely drop into relegation. That is what I see. I see the point gap is too big. I don't see them, and we have like I think 10 matches left
Yeah,
for
there
the
are about
season
10
to end.
matches left now. Yeah.
Yeah, so 10 matches mm, with
They still have
point
Chelsea to
gap.
play. They still have Liverpool to play. Yeah, they still have City to play. They still have Arsenal to play. I think they've played Tottenham.
Wow, then that is a big. But the part. My point is also that the teams in the relegation are not also proving anything.
Yeah,
That is why.
yeah, for sure. You are right, but then I'm just saying, because in Premier League you could see it, like look at this. Look at Ipswich Town when they hold United in there. It was very difficult for United. They were very, very lucky to get away with that 3 points over there with a red card. So sometimes it's I don't know, but then sometimes it's very good when you have a team that have the fighting spirit. It's just like this team are just giving up so easily. They give up so easily.
Wow, you are right. The matches.
Now you see.
Oh my goodness, this is bad
Now you
news.
see what I'm saying, what I'm talking about.
Wow, the matches Man United have left. I see the only match I can say they can have, they can be comfortable. Even that one is questionable because Man United, even in the games you expect them to win, that is they even suffer most.
Yeah, yeah.
The only game I can see they can be comfortable, I can say, oh, I can maybe bet 100% that they will win is Leicester City. Even that one, they are playing Leicester City at home, and Leicester City with Van Nistelrooy is they are proving something. And you remember this is a team in relegation, so they are
Because
going to put
they they
everything
they
to
had even opportunity to left the team to Van Nistelrooy, but later the way they moved, they took him out of the team. Probably Van Nistelrooy will want to show them that they made a mistake as well, because they didn't respected him. You took him the same year. I think it wasn't up to a 6 months. Then they have to take him out again.
yeah.
So so it's kind of
It's bad news for City, for Manchester, because apart from Leicester City and Wolves, who I say maybe Man United has,
and Wolves
a
too. They
upper
are
hand
uh-huh.
based on a player to player, comparison. Apart from that, the matches they have left is Arsenal, Forest, Man City, Newcastle, Bournemouth, Brentford, West Ham, Chelsea, Aston Villa. Oh my goodness!
So
Wow.
it's been yeah, it's been so tough for sure. But you
And
can't just
funny enough, bro,
uh,
I don't even see I can't, there's no one there's only one match I can see maybe one United can win. It's maybe even Wolves is going to be difficult.
Wolves is tough because Wolves sacked their coach, and the new coach who came
Yeah, and
was
and
just
yeah,
winning
and they
games
gain
like
back
that.
momentum. Yeah.
So
So even there's no even easy match. Can you imagine?
no. There's no easy match for United, for sure. There's no easy match for United in this kind of year. So,
Wow.
but mhm. Now you can see.
But
So
but
it's
but
kind of
even with losing all these matches, I don't think it's going to affect them because they are 16 points ahead of the closest relegating team, which is Ipswich and Leicester, both at
mm,
17 points, and they
yeah,
are at 30. Man United is at 33, so that's 16 points difference. So 16
simple.
point difference, that is like losing 5 games.
Hmm.
So losing 5 games and drawing one. And even if they lose all these 5 games and drawing one out of the 10 matches that they have left, which I think might be more, they might lose even more than the 5 games. Uh, the other team has to also win their games, which is not likely. Ipswich and Leicester City, I don't see them also, winning their games as they should to put Manchester United in that tough position. So regardless, I think Manchester United is going to make it out of relegation. And I think it will be good news for them. That is the positive thing they can carry out of this season. But also they will also not be able to qualify for other, European competitions. And I think that should be a time for them to, rebuild, buy players. For me, their problem is the players. Players. They should change the players.
But how can you
Holding
change
on
a
to
whole squad? That's the problem we are having. Oh, it's
that
very
that
difficult.
is the risk
Because they've already
it's
spent so
difficult.
much. They already spend so much. Even if they are going to buy some play, they need to sell. And
Yeah.
those players United is having. Let's us be realistic. That's why they want
Yeah,
those
they'll run
academy
at a
boys to
loss at
go
the end of the
because
day. That one
uh-huh,
is
uh-huh.
no two
and
ways.
and not at the not only the loss. No, do you know the PF the financial play rule is also in there. So that's why they are targeting to move out those academy players. Then probably they could get much money because for them when they are selling them they term it as pure profit. You can like so that one they can use it to go into the match to get more play. Other than that, I don't see United look at Zexi. Do you think any team will buy Zexi at that amount that they bought him? Rasmus Hoylund, which
In fact,
where
none of
Casamiro,
the only player that might be worth a price higher than the price at which he was bought was Amad Diallo.
Diallo
Even
is an
Bruno.
academy boy.
So selling Diallo meaning we'll be making you profit.
Ganachu,
But
that's why they
but
wanted to
apart
sell
from that,
Ganachu and
all other players, I don't see them being sold at a high price because the Man United team itself is has been their profile has been has been low. And yeah, even Bruno Fernandez, because of his age, I don't see any
Bruno
team
Fernandez is age,
wanting
yeah, his age, like
I don't see
so,
any
and now
team
he's
wanting
the
to buy
captain.
him
I
because
think the
yeah.
only player when he has gotten injury that Euro Line Euro that defense he was very good. Madrid actually wanted to get him, but then Madrid also wanted a cheap price, and then the club advised him to go to United. When he went, unfortunately, he also had injury. So right now he's just now coming back. So United, I don't know this guy Delight right now Delight who will buy him at that cost that they bought him. Chelsea needed him when he was at his peak. He refused and went to Bayern. Now in United flopping. The Maguire is now doing quite okay, but no club. They already tried
No,
selling him twice. They only tried
Maguire, no
selling him
club is going
twice.
to go for Maguire
Exactly,
unless
exactly.
probably he
So,
goes to Saudi league.
so that's that's
So
that's that's the
that is
essence of.
then their problem is not going to be their oh my goodness.
So let's
It's
see, let's
either
see.
they'll just have to buy players. If they can't sell, then they have to just risk and buy players. You buy, then they
But the thing is, the money is not there because considering the amount they spent last season, the previous 2 seasons, so they cannot spend that much unless they sell. Unless they allow some players to just go, a chunk of players to go, then they will get that their salaries and everything, balance their books, and be able to get some low cost players to for them to actually. I just had a news. One of the Sporting CP player. I can't get the name because my internet is they are battling with City now to get that player. So, and if you are battling against City, City have not been spending that much. They can spend more to go in and get that player than Manchester United. But then maybe Ruben Amorim factor could make that player because the player have worked with under Ruben Amorim. But the same problem they did with Eric Ten Hag, that's what they are trying to do. Because Eric Ten Hag first season they bought more than 6 players from Ajax. They were just buying players from Ajax, thinking that as he's coming, his philosophy will stick
Yeah, they,
into
they bought Martinez.
the
They bought um this guy, the right winger. I've forgotten his name.
Anthony.
The Brazilian.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they bought
Anthony,
Anthony, they bought Martinez, they bought this guy. There's one guy,
who left. The
left-footed player like that. Is it
the
Valencia or?
No, 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 no. They bought this guy. He's no more in Man U.
Mhm.
His name starts with a V.
Van der Beek.
Van de Beek. Yes,
Van
they
der
also
Beek,
bought
Grandpa, he
him.
was there and before Eric Ten Hag actually came.
Yeah,
He
but he
was
had
there.
worked with
He
Henry
has worked
Tehag
with
at
Eric Ten
Ajax.
Hag, yeah.
Yeah,
So and then I think there was some midfielder like that, and so it's like and then they were just buying any player they hear is doing in a one particular who work under Eric Ten Hag, then they go for the player. So it all boils down to the structure of the team, the structure. That was why even Eric Ten Hag, when they nearly sacked him and they didn't, when he was coming back, they had to go with his demands because the demands that they put to him, like he has no say in player buying, he has no say in formation, he only has to select the players, then probably. But then, which coach will sign that kind of deal? That was Jim Ratcliffe this thing for them. So I don't think it's gonna work out. But then, lastly, Osimi, it's like we heard United was actually interested in Osimi because Chelsea approached him before he went to the loan on Turkey, but then it didn't work out on that transfer deal. But he's still on loan in Turkey. So I don't know how United are actually linking. But Fabrizio today actually said he hasn't heard any contact or any form of deal United is trying to pull for Osimi. So it's still like that. So I think without much ado, we can end it here. And then, so guys, thank you very much for joining. Thank you very much for your time. And if you just join us and you are new, this is Ashili Sports. Welcome. Hit the subscription button, like and share the video. And hey, keep your comments in the comment section and we will get back to you as well. See you in the next video. Ciao. Charlie, what's up?